Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might be able to see my lovelies tonight. Hey guys, it's Victoria back with another spoiler-free movie reaction. And today's movie reaction will be on, I think you could already guess, on Disney's Wish. Directed by Chris Buck and Vaughn Vera-Sonthorn, and with the voice talents of Ariana DeVos, Chris Pine, Alan Tudyk, Angelique Kidrell, Victor Garber, and Natasha Rothwell. First off, I am just going to say that I know just as much as everyone else knows that this film did not do so well at box office, but I am here to neither defend nor judge this film or Disney's decision in regards to this film. I am here simply to give my most sincerest reaction to this movie. Nothing more, nothing less. So let's get started. So Wish. It's the story about a young woman named Asha who lives in the kingdom of Rosas, where the king keeps his citizens' wishes stored in his castle, claiming to be keeping them safe. Asha wishes for her grandfather to be able to receive his wish this year, and to also become the king's new apprentice. But she is about to find out that everything she and the citizens of Rosas have been told is probably not what it seems to be. Now, so much for Snow White being the one that started it all. This film is what they are saying is a fairy tale a century in the making. So definitely something that was supposed to be made long before Snow White. But hey, here we are now, finally getting to hear the fairy tale itself. And what are my thoughts on this fairy tale? Let's dive into it, shall we? It would seem that a lot has happened before, way before When You Wish Upon a Star. Back during a time where wishes were not just something that your heart makes, but was something that was externally and internally a part of you as a person, which I found to be an interesting concept this film had going, and how it affects you when you choose to give it away or to just let that wish go. It is very interesting how they decided to use it, as well as the themes of the film, which are pretty much like what you would find in a Disney film, of holding on to your dreams, your wishes, and never believe everything or just anything people tell you, especially your authorities, the authorities, and also even just themes of authoritarianism and how it affects the community at large and not in a healthy way, and also how corruption can lead to one's downfall also. And so there are definitely some generic themes in this film that you would probably find in other Disney films, but hey, this is a Disney fairy tale, and so I don't find that very surprising. What I did find surprising was how far at first I think the film was willing to go to show you how much people want to believe in someone, believe in their word, just because they seem like a good person. They seem like, not just that they seem like a good person, they look like a good person. But looks can be deceiving. And also, you never know exactly what people are doing behind closed doors or closed curtains, as far as this film goes. And I'm warning you guys now, this film is gonna have so so many Easter eggs because and it's not surprising, but it is because this film, as they said, is pretty much Disney's first fairy tale, the one that is gonna unleash all of the other fairy tales from Snow White to Cinderella to Pinocchio, well, from Pinocchio to Cinderella to Sleeping Beauty and so many different other Disney films. I don't have to list them. You know what I'm talking about. And so there are many Easter eggs, almost so much at points that I'm like, but then what's of this place that is its own fairy tale? Why are we seeing all this other stuff? But either way, we don't know until we until we do know and figure out the different significance to some of those Easter eggs that are put into this film. Now let's talk a little bit about our leading girl in this film, Asha, voiced by the talented Ariana DeBose. If you don't know her, she is from Hamilton and West Side Story. And from what I hear, she's going to be in Kraven the Hunter coming soon. So she is definitely playing now this character is not a princess, she is a apprentice, which is kind of in its own way kind of a throwback to a certain film, or if not a certain film, a certain cartoon. And so she is a very spirited, loving, a bit awkward, but then again, for a Disney princess of this time, that is not surprising, somewhat in the same vein as Rapunzel and Anna, and so it's not surprising to me. But either way, she is also very motivated to helping her community and also her family when it comes to helping them achieve their dreams, achieve their wishes. And she is also very dedicated to possibly being more than just what she is, but not for sure in what way yet, but you find out as the film goes along. And also you'll find out something very interesting about her character in the end, which I am not gonna spoil, but it is like, okay, I like where that is heading. Give me more of that. And she has a pet baby goat as a companion named Valentino, which, yeah, don't get me started on Valentino. Interesting character, but also still kind of like the animal sidekick in the film. And he's voiced by Alan Tudyk, just in case you couldn't recognize his voice. Now let's also get into the antagonist of this film, the magnificent, albeit sneaky, King Magnifico, played by Chris Pine. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Chris Pine, you really are trying to get into the villain roles now. Or if not the villain roles, definitely the sinister type of roles. Because if it wasn't Don't Worry, Darling, where you were definitely trying to play somewhat of the bad guy in that film, here we are now, where you're in a Disney film, an animated Disney film, I may add, as the villain of this movie. And also somewhat of a tragic character to a degree, but also a character that is kind of like, I wouldn't say in conflict with himself, because he knows what he is doing, but at the same time he tries to mask it behind this kind, handsome, and just you should trust me demeanor. I am doing what's best for you demeanor, when really in actuality he's more so doing what's best for himself and his ego. I find it interesting how he also hides behind this. What I find interesting about him as a villain is that he has a more softer, not over domineering type of voice to like I said, that makes people want to trust him, makes people want to believe him and what he claims that he is doing. Because even though he has that, he is still super authoritative, and he tries to maintain control over the things that he decides should be what they are. No one else has a choice in it, not the citizens, not his queen, just him. And so that's what makes him a interesting villain to me, is that he is not a overpowering physically and vocally type of villain. He has more of a, it's more layered, and even at times you feel like he probably wouldn't be this way if it wasn't for certain situations that happen in the film, but at the same time he goes down that path. And with Chris Pine voicing him, if you do not know who this guy is, I mean, surely you have heard of films like The Princess Diaries, Royal Engagement. Surely maybe you heard of Star Trek, or any of the, how can I say, recent Star Trek films that came out within this century. Or have you seen maybe, let's see, what else? Oh, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Or if you haven't seen some of the animated films that he has also lended his voice to, like Into the Spider-Verse, Rise of the Guardians, and oh, of course, I already said it, Don't Worry Darling. Then I can't help you if you don't know who Chris Pine is. Now, there are so many other nice voice acting performances in this film, but sadly I can't go through all of them in this video, so I'm just gonna say that I thought the voice acting was really good in this film. Not the best, but it was, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them playing different characters like Natasha Rothwell and Victor Garber as their characters. And also the music in the film, it was alright. It was alright. I will say that there are some songs that I like better than others. Like I definitely am being honest with you when I say I do like the song This Wish, and also I liked This Is the Thanks I Get. This is the thanks I get. Oh my god, don't make me start singing that song, because honestly, to me, that song was very catchy. I really liked it. Now, some people, I can understand if you didn't really care too much for any of the songs. I understand. I get it. And there wasn't really a lot of songs in this film, to be honest, not in my opinion, when it comes to the different experiences I've had with other Disney animated films. And there were some songs that just felt like they were just placed in the film at not awkward moments, but it just felt like they were just crowbarred in for just the visuals, or just for the how can I say, the comedy moments of it. And there were even there was either one or two that felt like it was coming right out of a Broadway show. Like literally Broadway and not Disney animated film. So it was like, okay. And so it didn't feel like it flowed naturally to me. And there was one song that really spoke to me, like, not saying that it was the best song, but it really spoke to me in a way, hearing it, called Knowing What I Know Now, that kind of, to me, encapsulates the whole thing, the whole deal behind this film, and also the situations that the citizens are going through, as of course what Asha is going through, but also all the rest of the citizens of Rosas are dealing with a certain character, if you can't guess. But either way, I felt like that song could have been much better, like constructed better and had more of a, how could I say, more umph to it. I'll just leave it at that. The animation in the film I thought it wasn't anything grand or new to me, but I did find it interesting that they used computer animation along with like 2D animation, like the kind of 2D that I would describe it, and I'm not the only one, I think other people have described it this way, kind of like a book style type of animation, like that, like illustration type of animation. And I did kind of find that interesting. There were points where it did feel a little jarring, I'll admit, but I kind of liked that animation. It was different to me, and also kind of like I said, I just wish that there could have been more brought onto it, more done with it, that it could have been somewhere close to along the lines of maybe, you know, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or something like that. But hey, everybody has their way of, you know, making their own animation for their films, so who am I to judge why they chose to do it in this way? But I thought it was pretty nice. Not the best, but it was nice. Also, I will say there are some interesting, how can I say, interesting things going on with certain characters, especially when it comes to Asha's friends, who are almost like a resemblance to a certain group of friends from another Disney film, one that I have already mentioned on this video. And also there are moments that are kind of like, not really reveals, but kind of like interesting point outs in a way when you really think about it. But aside from that, it was pretty much like a Disney fairy tale, which is what it is. There wasn't anything truly outgoing or completely like, oh, new type of way of looking at it fairy tale. It's just simply that of what it is, a Disney fairy tale. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you my rating. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would have to give this movie a 7.8. I didn't think it was the worst movie of them all, but I did think that it was fairly decent. It was watchable. I enjoyed it for the time that I was watching it, and I thought some of the characters were definitely interesting, and some more interesting than others. And also the ending, which you find out where all of this kind of like comes together kind of thing. I thought it was a decent ending, although I wish that there was a little bit more added to it. And also, like I said, the voice acting was really good. The animation, pretty good too. And yeah, that's all I have to say on this one. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any thoughts on Wish, or if there was anything you thought that I missed that I should have added to the video, please, by all means, leave it in the comments section down below. And I will be coming back with another movie reaction. I just need to figure out what's the next one I'm going to see, because there are a few coming out this December, so I just need to get my thoughts together and figure out which ones I'm going to see. But don't worry, I'll be sure to let y'all know which ones I'm going to see. You can find out on my Instagram, and I'll also post it on my YouTube channel so you guys can see. But till then, I hope you all have a wonderful, amazing, and blessed day. And also, never forget to keep on wishing, because a wish is the most important thing in this world that any human, animal, or what would you say, puppet, or even just any non-living thing could ever have. So always hold on to that wish, no matter what. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.